So you're getting personal questions? Can we answer those? Dude, let's fucking answer those, dude.
8 inches.
That's what you took last night?
Next question.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals. They're about to make that very clear.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Walking Blind podcast. I'm Mike. That is Mike as well. This is episode 65, and we have a very special guest. We have our boy Andrew from Share the Backline.
Golf clap, everybody.
What an intro!
Podcaster, influencer, Twitch streamer, Taco Bell aficionado, all the above.
Wow, already, dude. Already. We're like 30 seconds in.
I feel like a lot of people, one, were waiting for this episode, and two, thought that we were just going to get on the episode and just shit on each other for an hour about Taco Bell and Del Taco.
I mean,
and the reality is we will.
we absolutely could. I mean,
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up. Get your refried beans ready.
Your real refried beans that are slow cooked.
This beef is about to get seasoned.
Not your flakes.
Oh man! Well, welcome to the welcome to the studio, man. It's not as big as it looks on camera.
Oh, dude,
It's the story of my life.
Got one of those crazy lenses. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we were talking about MySpace angles a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
It's
You got to do it, man. I mean, MySpace needs to make a comeback, and it starts with the angles. Like once we start putting the angles out there, it's gonna come back, dude. I believe in it.
The thing is, though, if they bring MySpace back, like I feel like I had anxiety then. I'm gonna have even more anxiety now about my top 8, right? Like, who do I put in the top 8? So it's got to be like the podcast, the band, and then just like one or two people that I see regularly, right?
But that's gonna bring hate, dude.
Well,
It's gonna bring hate.
Yeah, I got to really question. Like, is my wife gonna be in my top 8 this time?
Yeah, did she make it?
It can be so petty so quickly. Like you have like a little disagreement or someone, and it's like off the 8.
Martin's top 8, just all his bands.
Dude,
oh man,
I think there was a time where you could like randomize your top 8. So you don't have to deal with that beep. Like, oh, it's random.
I didn't know that.
You could randomize it, but then there would always be that weird moment where somebody who you don't really fuck with, but is still in your friends list,
like
shows
1.
up, and you're like, oh fuck, what I do?
Just change
Just
Randomize again. Randomize again. But so we've had this beef going for a few months now, I think, at this point, and during this whole back and forth, we realized that we live so close together. Yeah. It doesn't make sense that we didn't actually hang out. So here we are.
Yeah. Only I'm here because, at the time of recording, O'Brien is still homeless. My heterosexual life mate is living in the street. And
He belongs to the street.
Yeah. There's a really bad storm going around his house, and like all the streets are closed. Like even if I pull up his address on the map, it's like, we can't give you directions because the roads are closed. It's like, oh shit. So
it's insane. And the fact that like I had snow here the other day,
I had snow
straight up like the kids were in the backyard playing in the snow, and that never ever happens. Like we barely get ice. I sent it to Mike. He's like, no fucking way right now.
Dude, and it was a lot of, because I got snow at my house too, because we're so close to each other. Yeah. It was a lot of snow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a couple of hours, it was just like coming down. It stayed, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. That was my first experience with snow too. Like,
really?
Yeah. I'll be 35 this year, and I've never seen snow, so it was pretty
Never
cool.
even like going up to the mountains or anything like that?
I was going to go once, and they're like, oh, we need chains. And my uncle's like, no, I don't have a chain. So we bailed. I'm like, oh, shit. I think we went to like golf and stuff, and I was wearing thermals and shit. So, trying to play golf, and yeah.
Dang.
That was my only chance. But now it's...
Yeah, I think this was for sure Elliot's first time seeing snow. And at first he was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, he's like, what is this? And then Emily walks out and she's like, I caught some on my tongue. And he's like, what? And he's walking out there and he's like wearing rain boots and a dinosaur onesie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wrapped our boys up in blankets and just took them outside. My daughter's like, nah, I'm cool. I'll
I'm
stay
all
inside. I'll stay inside where it's warm.
You're like, this never happens.
Yeah. You don't understand. This isn't going to happen for a while.
We're destroying your planet with global warming. I'm going to turn this into a conspiracy podcast, dude.
Dude, as much as I would love that, Mike's going to lose his shit. Mike doesn't know how to control himself.
I've learned to like suppress it well enough to like function in society.
Yeah.
So
Have you, though? How do you feel about space?
I think so. Space is rad, dude. Final frontier. I think it's so cool that like there's this whole like we know so much about it, but we don't know shit about our own oceans.
Yep.
I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
That makes sense. Like, we can see distant planets and we can go to the moon. We can always do these things, but we don't know our oceans
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Because that's too hard. That technology is too hard to go through our own oceans.
See what you did.
I'm all about it, baby. I'm all about it.
I read this article recently, and I was going to bring it up about
Water's too difficult.
about astronauts and how they shit in space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how originally, like, let's say in a world where you believe that we can get to the moon, right? Of
course.
They didn't plan for the fact that people would have to shit on the way there and on the way back. So when they were basically asked, like, how do we do this? They're like, you bag it? So basically they would have to tape like bags to their ass and shit in the bag and then hurry up and tie it. And then I guess apparently because of that, there's a rule where you don't eat milk duds. That like if you are eating milk duds, you don't eat milk duds because one or two could have escaped.
Nice.
Yeah, and there was like something else about like how since there's no gravity to break it off. So when you go, it just all comes in one, and you just bag it up.
Hell yeah. That's a awesome submission for ratemypoo.com. You guys remember that website?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Dude, the internet was undefeated even back then.
Yeah.
Even back then when you had like eBombs World and you had like rotten.com and like, all this craziness. I still remember, for all you kids out there, watching Two Girls, One Cup because NBR had come home from tour, right? And they come to my apartment and I think it was either Martin or Rick. Somebody was like, you have to watch this. Mike was there. He witnessed this whole thing and he just stood by as Martin held my eyeballs open to watch this video that just ruined me for the rest of my life.
Don't watch that, guys.
Don't watch it, but if you can find it, send a link.
I'll never forget the first time that we saw it. We were with Ryan from Spokane, and he showed us, and that video was such a like you kind of got a sense of your friends and like who's into what and like who can handle what, because like there was like
it's a good barometer of like somebody's
dude. Like I couldn't watch. Like as soon as I realized what was happening, I was like and then but like dude, like Williams was like
dying.
He was like, can you believe that? I was like, no.
But it wasn't for me. I went back to like making South Park characters as wrestlers. Or wrestlers as South Park characters. I went back to that website.
Nice. Well, let's jump into our mental health check.
Right on.
Mike?
Yeah. Mental health check. It's where we like to do a check-in weekly, see where we're at mentally. And that way we can kind of keep track and see if there's anything that we're doing that's helping us, any coping mechanisms that we're doing. Or if we're in a funk, maybe what are we neglecting to do or what haven't we done? So who's going to go first?
You're going to go first.
I'll go first.
Because you never go first.
All right, fine. I feel like I'm pretty good this week. Gotten back into, kind of singing and getting shape somewhat. Yeah, I feel like I've been like a good kind of productive, which has been nice. And yeah, I feel like mentally it's been like a good week. I feel like I've had like a lot of opportunity to kind of chill too, which has been helpful. And yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
Andrew?
This week sucked, dude. No, it's like I was thinking about it when you messaged me. I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to do the mental health check. Like, dude, this week has really sucked. Like for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, we can get into it later, but you know, like I actually suffer from depression. You know, and take medication for it, and got diagnosed. I'm not just sad one day. You know.
Yeah.
But a lot of things have, like, just happened. Like I traded in my dream car, you know,
I saw that.
my WRX for a new truck, which is cool. I like my truck, but still, it's like that dream you know you work so hard for, and it's just gone. But my family takes precedent over that, you know, and I was talking to O'Brien about it, and it's like everything was just thrown off schedule. I think. You know, it's like the routine is so different because we carpool to work and we'll carpool home, and then he goes up the mountain. But like since Wednesday, since he hasn't been home, like we haven't done any of that. And then like no potting yesterday. Like yesterday just sucked, but today was a lot better. Like, you know, just getting back on track. I started taking vitamins.
That's
you know?
huge.
So trying to get in shape for Raw's wedding, and yeah, I mean, we're on the right track to get better. So
Yeah.
So what kind of things? It sounds like routine is like a very is important for your mental health. It sounds like what else? Like what are some of your go-tos? Like what are your coping mechanisms, or what's something that brings you like back? Or
to be honest, like it's when I'm working, you know, like the routine for me is, and I shouldn't call it like hanging out with my kids routine, you know, but
that's, I mean, realistically, that's part of it, especially, you know, when you have kids, like that's, you have time that you're spending there.
So hanging out with my boys and my daughter, you know, like just watching, you know, Wheels on the Bus 1,000 times or something. And then, you know, the whole routine of getting them to, you know, getting a bath ready. And then, you know, like I started washing dishes, you know, to help out my wife. So like I'm putting stuff away, and then like going to edit, you know, it kind of sucks now because I edit so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I have nothing else to do, and you know, the whole Twitch streaming thing, like I kind of got burnt out on gaming a little bit, so it's like, plus I game by myself, so
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just like working, and so lately it's been just trying to learn different things to help grow the podcast and stuff, and you know, been looking at, you know, I talked to you about this, about like reaching out to groups and stuff, and you know, Brian's like been pushing me towards therapy, and I'm just so afraid of that, you know, like but now
Sorry, go ahead.
now it's just, you know, trying to stay busy, trying to stay focused, and but when you can't pod, or you know, you run out of stuff to do, it's like it's rough. So
Can I ask, like, what is it that like scares you about therapy?
I think it's because I grew up learning to suppress my feelings, you know, and opening up those doors that I don't want to open.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
and that's what freaks me out the most. It's not like talking to like even if the cameras are not rolling, like I could tell you guys my entire life story. It's not about that. Mm-hmm. But like the stuff that I don't want you guys to know, it's, you know, nobody will ever know.
Yeah, it's the vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I had to see a psychiatrist to get evaluated, did all that stuff. And you know, it's been suggested, it's like, you know, I've been doing this for 30 years, you know, like I can manage, but there's times, man, like this time, like a few days this past week was just really rough, you know, and like I'm glad I have people like my wife and O'Brien, you know, like to really lean on, you know, like I said, messaging Mike here, you know. I'm missing, you know, a lot, you know, so, but yeah, I mean, we're on the right track, so things are better.
And do you feel like like medication, things like that have helped you?
Yes and no. Like when I first started taking the medication, I was at like 60 milligrams. Now it's 120.
Okay.
So, 2 blue and white pills a day, keeps the headaches away, It's just a crazy story, like how I actually got diagnosed too. And when I don't take, like there'll be days where like I don't take it, and like the pain, like the only way I could describe it is like lightning in your head, like just firing off like crazy, and it sucks. That's the only reason why I continue to take my pills. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I've taken them. I've been on track. Again, O'Brien is like, take your pills. He'll send me like the fist emoji, because like whenever we're mad at each other, we just raise our fist, and then like if we're really mad, you see the fist start to shake. It's like, that's how mad I am right now. So it's like, I'll take your meds. I'm like, all right, cool. Bought a little case, put my vitamin in my meds. So
good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
It's at least what's cool is that it's like you have at least a support system,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I've seen a therapist. It's not easy. Like, as much as for what we do, and it's hard because like everyone's experience is different, and it really is like I'll always be a supporter of it. And I think it's great. I think it's just great to talk to someone in general, but you can always run into that fear of like not clicking with your therapist, and there is a fear of digging up old stuff, right?
Yeah.
But something, this not a therapy thing, but something that was helpful for me, and I want to do it more. I'm just broke. Is I think we've had to talk about it, but float tanks, dude. I hate water. Like, I'm terrified of the ocean. Don't really like pools. My friend convinced me to do a float tank, and what I loved about it, and which was like crazy for me, was when I did it, I was at the tail end of school. So probably when I was at my worst, like eating lemons, like they were apples, and just kind of a mess mentally. But being in like the deprivation room and floating around, like being so ridiculously comfortable, it made me, because I thought it would like clear my mind. It didn't. It made me think about all my problems. But because I was like so relaxed, and I had like total concentration, I was able to see like my issues without emotion. And so like I was like able to like to look at like why, like what about, because I was obviously happy to be done with school. What about being done with school terrifies me? And I was able to like see what that was, and like truly like think about it without being like overly scared, overly upset, and so I remember that being really helpful for me, and that kind of set me right for a little bit. And I've been wanting to go back, but it's kind of pricey.
Yeah. It's funny because we were laying on Williams's bed drunk, 3 men together, talking about the float tanks, and then when you told me you did it, I was like, you fucking went without me.
This was a long time ago, Michael.
Still haven't gone, but it's fine. It's fine.
We should do. We have a day where we go, guys.
Dude, let's do it. We'll film it.
Floating blind or something.
Do you have to get naked?
Huh?
Do you have to get naked?
Hell yeah.
like full
You're not
naked?
in there with someone else. You have your
No,
own.
I know, but do you?
I did, yeah.
So how do they monitor to make sure that you're not like dying?
Dead.
Because they check on you. I think you have like an hour.
Uh-huh.
And so when your time's up, like,
What if you die within the hour?
I think
Like, what if you have like?
I think your waiver is like basically says like, hey,
I'm just afraid I'm gonna have a mental breakdown and then somebody's gonna see my dick. And that makes it even worse. Then I have double anxiety.
Well, so when I went, there was kind of a different problem. So when you're in there, like it's like super peaceful, and you have the opportunity to listen to music while you're in there, like ambient shit, or like nothing, and you have the option to have lights on or no lights. I went in there, no music, no lights, like floating in water. Like, it's crazy to me as I'm speaking this out.
How fast did that hour go?
Fast.
Really?
Fast. And so when I did, so I've done it twice, and the second time that I did it, I get out, and then
Wait,
like
twice, Michael?
they forgot.
This
forgot.
fucking guy.
They forgot to give the warning to my friend, so she was in there for like an hour and a half.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but she for her it was like 20 minutes basically. So, yeah, no one's gonna walk in on you. Like you have your own, like the actual water, the tank that you're in, that I was in, like that you're floating in. It's probably the size of the studio.
Can you get out of it at any time?
Yeah, it's like you're in like 2 feet of water, and it's like literally the size of this room. So you could float all around if you want. Like it's not like you're in like a chamber, which I'm willing to do now.
I'm picturing like a fucking pod that I have to lay in like this for like an hour.
They have those, and I'm at the point where I think I'd be willing to try that. But
I'm not even claustrophobic, but
Yeah.
just
I was just gonna say my undiagnosed
claustrophobia.
Yeah, sure.
you're like that.
It's gonna come out.
Damn, we should do it. We should do a day. Would O'Brien be down?
Pretty sure. I mean, I could talk him into anything.
We would look like such a crew company.
That'd be sick.
We can when we're done, we can all sip on our teas
Be like,
afterwards.
do you guys have the room that'll fit all of us?
You know, you gotta get naked, right? I was like, oh well, I heard the best way to enjoy music is completely naked. Shout out to our conversation before.
Learned that from Puffy's manager.
Little quote.
The more you know, Rainbow.
Well, Michael, where are you at mentally?
I'm okay. I've been kind of all over the place this week and this weekend. I've been fighting to stay away from all the sick people in my house. Everybody, like Elliot was sick, then Karama got sick, then Emily got sick. I was like sleeping on the couch. I'd like come out here and go to bed. Like I just, so hopefully I'm gonna ride this. I've been doubling up on emergency, just making sure I'm not like, spending too much time around them. But then when you have a 3-year-old that just likes to get in your face and just talk to you like right here, there's, but other than that, it's been, good. I just kind of, feel like I've just been running all over the place. Like I was at like a cheer competition this weekend. Austin's daughters are in cheer. So the whole family came down because there was a competition in Anaheim. So Sunday morning, 7 a.m., I'm driving out to Orange County for the United Spirits Association competition. And Raul was like, is that why there were so many cheerleaders at Disneyland? I was like, yeah, dude, that's why. But it's cool. Like I just feel like I was everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Like Saturday, me and Martin went to get dim sum. See, here's what we've learned.
Right.
When Perez,
I didn't get that call either.
let's rewind here. Mike did get the call. And here's what happened. Mike was like, I got to watch my nieces until 12:30. Martin was going to buy a cymbal. And I was like, well, fine. I'm just going to get my haircut and go home. And then Martin calls me and he's like, hey, you want to get food? I was like, yeah. And he's like, what can we fuck with? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, let's go to get dim sum. I was like, all right, cool. So we go to get dim sum. And we realized that when we always go to the places that Mike doesn't like to eat whenever he's not around. Because Mike's not going to eat duck. First of all,
That's not true.
You would eat roast duck and like the shrimp balls and the pork and shrimp dumplings.
That sounds so good.
This was really good.
Anyway, so we went and got dim sum, then came home and avoided the family again. Yeah, I just feel like what was supposed to be a very chill weekend to just relax ended up not being very chill and relaxing at all. So it's like the story of my life now. But other than that, I'm good. Still the same old thing. Like I'm in a routine, like work, come home and work some more, do voiceover stuff, work the podcast, edit, make sure Mike has everything he needs to do the reels, and then do it all over again on Mondays. So,
Which, by the way, I got on the short game.
yeah,
The shorts game.
yeah.
Dude, our first short, we posted it. Within 20 minutes, we had 1,000 views.
It's crazy. I was telling Mike, dude, short form content.
Yeah.
Like, I think I even used you guys as an example. I was like, look at Share the Backlines shorts, like, and then look at all these. You know,
It's too hard.
I think
like-
we have a reel on Instagram that has almost 10K now.
Dang, dude, we yeah, same deal. Like I posted it. I think it might have been the mental health check. I don't remember it being. Oh no, it was the one with no way about the shark.
Yeah, the shark.
Yeah, that had like 1,000 views right off the bat. I was like, what are we doing?
He texts me. He's like, "This is the way to go." I was like, "I told you."
And so now I'm having to learn how to like make those edits and like, yeah, I have to edit the camera so it's like focusing on us because otherwise the way it shows up all narrow on the screen, I have
Yeah.
to keep moving it and stuff.
Dude, once I learned how to edit like vertical and like it was a game changer, you know, and it's like I'll edit the entire podcast. As I'm editing, I'll like pick up clips and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we need an intro, so we'll put up, you know, I'll go use this. Like this is a funny clip, this is a funny clip. So after I'm done, like the entire pod just goes vertical. So I'm like switching between each one and
What are you guys using to edit?
DaVinci.
Okay, that makes sense.
I paid for it too.
You did?
It's worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a one-time payment, $300 or something. Shout out to DaVinci Resolve. Like if you guys want to sponsor someone, you know, Black Magic Design. I mean,
Yeah, that's one of the things about the ATEM that we use that I still haven't figured out what to do or how to get into is that it creates a resolve file for you of your recordings, right? So if Jesse's cuts are off, then we can go back in and edit his cuts in Resolve. But I just,
dude, editing and multicam, it's just like using a switcher. Like I'm just, you know, I can hit
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. You know, same shit. We got 3 cameras, so I can just edit like 1, 2, 3. If I got to stop it, extend a clip, or it's just so easy. I could geek out on this stuff all day, dude. Like,
that's awesome though. That's a good thing. We just,
I'm gonna take Jesse's job on Mondays.
Jesse's like,
it doesn't pay much. It doesn't pay much, but you know. So I kind of
your family.
I kind of wanted to know like the history behind, you know, Share the Backline is still a fairly new show, but you guys have been friends for a lot longer than that.
Yeah. So it goes back to like 2007. You know, those MySpace days.
Yep. Was he in your top 8?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
See, it doesn't always matter.
Yeah.
I was never in Mike's top 8.
I don't even know who was in my top.
Yeah. Come to think, I know like my wife, because me and my wife, we've been together since 2006. So I know she was like top 8. It's like probably her, then a band, and then whatever else I was into. But
I was engaged in 2006.
Yes, you were.
Yes, Jesse.
It always shocks him.
so like I graduated 06, and that's when I really started like learning guitar and stuff. And you know, I'm all self-taught. Like I didn't really have lessons or anything, so it's just like reading tabs, learning different things, getting into different music. And you know, my wife, like, she introduced me to like a lot of the bands I still love, like Senses Fail. Like that's probably my second favorite band of all time. She introduced me to them. Like I just started getting into all this music. I'm like, all right, I want, like, music is what I want to do with my life, you know?
Yeah.
So I just would practice every day. I was working at like Target or something, making a couple bucks here and there, and then I ended up working for the Ducks. My dad was a warehouse manager for the Ducks and the Angels at the same time.
Nice.
So like 2002, I went to the World Series against Giants. You know, wow. I went to every playoff game that year, except for Game 7 of the World Series, because my grandpa like bought 4 tickets, like 10 rows up behind third base.
Fuck.
For the entire series or all the playoffs, and then Game 7. He sold and like tripled his money or some shit like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
good hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, good hustle there.
So, yeah. So for a little while, I was an Angel fan. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get into that later.
Sure are.
No, but you know, it's like just like I want to play in a band and just you know, looking around. I think Craigslist too. Like, hey, we're looking for a guitar player, and I just happened to hit up this guy. And he's like, yeah, we practice in Almani. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went, and O'Brien, like that was the first time I met O'Brien. He was on the drums, became friends on MySpace, and then kind of like, you know, broke apart, like, because I wanted to do my own thing. So I started bands, played a couple shows, played a show with you, Coachella weekend.
Yep.
You're competing with Rage.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, I remember exactly what that was. We got those rare moments that we got asked to headline Chain. And it was, I mean, this is the era when like we were just playing last.
Yeah.
We weren't headline, we were playing last. And yeah, it was when Rage Against the Machine had come back for the first time.
Is this pre-sale days? Like, were there pre-sales?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, we had pre-sale for sure.
What was the name of that band that you played in back then?
I don't even remember, man. I don't know what band it was. I think it was the second time we played Chain. We talked about this on the other podcast. Like, you know, people start off, they'll play like house shows and stuff. Like, my first show ever was at Chain.
Sick.
So, and then the second one was at Chain. And
Your first show ever in a band or ever?
ever.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So, got on that pre-sale hustle quick. But no, that's like when I fell in love with NBR. You know, like Broken Bottles was my shit. You know. So, so after that, like I joined October Drive. You know, you did guest vocals for October Drive too.
Dude, Mike.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike Wazo, dude. And Anthony and Matt and Ray. But so like October Drive, and then O'Brien joined Wolves, and we kind of like just intermingled, you know, like started jamming or playing shows together and stuff. And you know, O'Brien would like hook or talk on Instagram, like, because we would both play Pokemon Go. So it was like, oh, you know, switching numbers back and forth, and we talked then, and then he's like, oh, you know, I need a job. So luckily my place is hiring, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Wanted to start a pod. I've been wanting to do a podcast for years. You know, like I just never knew what I wanted it to be about. Like I always wanted to do a baseball podcast. My cousin always had the idea for a hot box office.
Nice.
But I don't smoke, so
Hey, sign me up.
yeah. So it's like, you know, we'll go watch a movie and then we'll like pod after it. So like there was always ideas, but I'm just like never executed it. And then like you know, Brian's like, yeah, I mean, I'm down. I'm like, cool. Like the day later, I'm ordering all the stuff, like the mics and everything. I'm like, all right, everything will be here Thursday, and it sit for like a month and a half, or sat for like I'm like, dude, I bought all this shit. We got to do something.
Yeah, I spent so much money.
Yeah. And then like the first 2 episodes we did in our office at work, and then moved up the mountain.
Nice.
And just like trying to do as much as we can to make it blow up, you know.
So is you guys' gear locked away in the snow right now, or?
Yeah. Like I'll text them every morning, are the roads open, or you know?
Yeah.
It's like, let's just go pick up everything because my truck's 4x4.
You got a truck now, man.
Yeah, it was crazy because my wife was cool. She's like, yeah, get what you want. I'm like, all right, cool. Because I was gonna get a Tacoma, and I'm like, no, that's not gonna fit.
It's small, yeah.
It's not gonna fit.
They're cool trucks, but it's small.
Fit all 5 of us. So, and then we just upgraded my boys' car seats. So those are bigger, and you know, my daughter's still in the car seat. And then I just saw like a Silverado. I'm like, man, these are pretty inexpensive compared to like a Suburban or something, you know. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go look at them. Found one, and I'm like, I need 4x4.
Yeah.
So I was talking like to the entire family, and they're like, you know, why do you need 4x4? Like, what? And the like 2 days after, it's snowing.
Yeah.
You know, like, aren't you glad I have 4x4? You know, but everybody at my house drives Subarus, so
It's all-wheel drive.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to get up there. Like I text him like, let's just go, dude, let's go. And he's like, no, like it'll be 8 hours of shoveling before we can get to like the front door of my house. I'm like, damn it.
Damn.
So I'm gonna have to like, we have one pod that nobody's ever gonna hear, and somebody's like, oh, you should put that one out. I'm like, I'd rather drive up the side of a mountain with no roads to pick up the stuff.
Shovel for 8 hours.
Yeah.
We have one of those throwaway pots. Yeah, we got a little. That's when we realized that we shouldn't be drinking on a mental health podcast when we're, trying to be.
Learning experience.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think it was even that we were being rude to people. It was just the stories that we decided to tell.
Yeah.
Like at one point in time,
Thanksgiving.
at one point in time, Mike just stops talking, and then he looks at me. He goes, "My mom listens to this," and I was like, "That's fair."
Yeah, that's pretty much. Well, it was the second episode of the day that we were, because we wanted to bank episodes. Like it was a time when like I didn't want to drive up there every Sunday, but now it's like kind of like my routine.
Yeah.
So we were trying to bank episodes, and we were just like so low energy for the second one, and it was just like minutes of nothingness, So it's like, I'm never gonna put. And then we said some questionable stuff too. So,
For for that drive, how long is that commute for you to go up there?
from my house to like the bottom of the mountain, it's legit like 5 minutes, and then to go up is like 25.
Okay, so it's not too.
It's not too bad, but it sucks when it's like, oh, you're only 8 miles away, but it's like half an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like,
It's like being in LA.
yeah, it's LA traffic.
That's right. Well, I have a couple questions we can go into. I'm calling this segment "Feeling Blue." And as I was coming up with this, I was like, I only really have 2 baseball questions.
Should I go get my angel hat?
I mean,
You should have worn your angel poncho.
I know.
You know.
I know. All right, so
I almost brought the Bills hat, dude. I still have the Bills hat.
It's a sick ass hat though.
Yeah,
like
it's pretty sick.
I wore the shirt the other day, and my dad's like, "I didn't know you were a Bills fan." I was like,
I still
Yeah.
I wore my Bengals hat the other day.
"It's a cool band with that."
Yeah.
All right, so our buddy here is a Dodger fan. Who is your favorite current Dodger player and why?
Kershaw.
Kershaw?
Kershaw's been my favorite. Kershaw is like probably my all-time favorite player. Not just because he's a Dodger. It's like, the work ethic that he has. He's a family man. Not super religious, but like he's all into his faith and stuff, and like I could respect that. But just he's a competitor, dude. And like it pisses me off when but he sucks in playoffs. Well, you tried pitching like 900 innings in a season, carried like that whole stretch run between like what was it, 2012 to like maybe 16, 17. Like Kershaw carried that team, But,
One of the reasons that I just had a hatred for the Astros was because when all this stuff started coming out, and clearly he was one of the pitchers that was affected by the cheating, I was like, Kershaw, maybe he wasn't that bad. Maybe he's not the choke artist that we all say he is. And I was so mad that the Astros made me feel empathy for the Dodgers, and that I was. It's hard. I'm a baseball fan, so it's hard to be like, the Dodgers were robbed, possibly twice.
yeah.
Once for sure.
Well, Mookie Betts just came out and said that they did the same thing, So it sucks. 2 years in a row.
And no consequences.
None.
No consequences.
Well, none for the players. I mean,
And then the first suspension is freaking away from the Dodgers. That's so worth it though. My next question is, so we'll pretend that you're the Dodgers GM, and you basically have this crazy deal where you can get any player in Major League Baseball currently to come to the Dodgers, but the only condition is that you have to trade Kershaw.
well,
And currently.
Anyone current.
Okay.
So
As
Trout, Stanton.
as much as the gamer Kershaw is, I honestly think this might be his last season. signing that 1 year deal. He could have went to Texas for a multi-year deal. That's where he's from. But I think he'll be okay with like, I'll go to the Angels. Go ahead and get Shohei. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen at the trade deadline, anyways. Think about it, dude. They're not.
I have a lot.
This discussion has definitely come up.
They're not gonna extend him for. We talked about this. If if Artie Moreno would have sold the Angels, Shohei's an Angel for life.
Yeah.
There's no way they give him what he wants.
Right.
And that's why the Dodgers didn't sign, Dansby Swanson or, Correa or, Trey Turner. And now they lost their probably starting shortstop for 6 to 8 months. If he tore his ACL, we'll see. But they're going after Shohei. And I think Kershaw would be like, yeah, it's the right move.
Yeah.
I bleed Dodger blue. Trade me.
Yeah. It's as much as it hurts to think about, it's a fucking great move.
Yeah. I just hope that if the Angels should trade Shohei, I just hope that they gut whatever team they get. Like completely at least gut their farm system and take, a starter or two.
Yeah, dude. Well, the thing with the Dodger farm system is they're so loaded. Like everybody talks about, their team, they bought their championship in 2020. It's like, no, dude. Like Bellinger was homegrown, Kershaw, Seager,
Yeah, Urias or whatever.
Yeah, Julio. He's probably gone. I think he gets dealt. I don't think he's gonna sign a long term. He's pretty upset with, like the pitch limit and stuff. I'm turning this into a baseball podcast.
Hey, dude, we're fans of baseball.
It's fine.
It's all right. We've had multiple episodes where we talk about cars. So
I'm a baseball fan. I'm not a diehard baseball fan, so I'm just chilling.
I'm a sports fan.
yeah,
Like anything that has to do with sports, hockey, basketball, but baseball's like my number one sport. And I just I could lay awake or lay down and think like, what would have happened in 2016 when Shohei's like, I want to go to the Dodgers, and they told him no because they didn't want him to hit and pitch.
Yeah.
So
Oopsies.
yeah,
Whoops.
Yeah, I became a fan of baseball in 2002. That's when I was able to be like, it is just a game and it's fun.
Why is that?
Because they won the World Series and they haven't been back since. My story has a happy ending, but I when I was going to college and this is back before TiVo and all that, DirecTV and all that shit. So if you miss the game, you miss the game.
yeah.
And so I was taking a class and I was already going to the university and I was like on academic probation because my high school grades were insane. And so I had one math class in the evening and it was at like 5:30. And so it's playoff baseball.
Yeah.
So all the games are basically around that time. And so whenever the Angels had a game, I would just quietly get up and leave. And I was doing it so much that eventually my teacher knew me by name. It was a big class, knew me by name and called me out when I was walking out. She's like, Mr. Perez, where are you going? I could have lied. You could have said anything. And the Angel, like what I said, is like, I can always go back to school. Angels won't. Oh, no, because I was like, I got to go. She's like, if you leave, I will fail you. So I kind of thought about it. I was like, I can always go back to school. Angels won't always be in the World Series. And I walked out.
Nice.
I got a couple scattered claps, not from my buddy. My buddy was just like, couldn't believe it. He's the one who told me that. He's like, yeah, you had like 2 people clap for you. I was like, yes.
Sick.
And got kicked out of school. I didn't go back until much later. And I had to spend my own money. But it worked out. On my degree, I saw the Angels win a World Series, and they haven't been back since. So
That team was stacked too. You got, like Benji Molina behind the plate.
Yeah.
You had Darren Erstad.
Troy Gloss.
Troy Gloss. Yeah, I met Troy Gloss. So that was the cool thing about my dad working for the Angels is like I would go to like weeknight games, and like the warehouse underneath the stadium is right where the players walk to their cars.
Oh, cool.
So like my dad's like never. Yeah, I was a young kid, so he's like never asked for autographs. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll just sit here, and like I would sit on like the desk holding a baseball, and like all these players would just come up, So I met a bunch of cool people like Benji Molina was really cool. Garrett Anderson was kind of a dick.
Really?
Like I met Mo Vaughn.
Sick.
Like it's one of those like scenes out of a movie where we're walking out the door to leave, and I drop my baseball, and like I go turn around to pick it up, and I look up, and he's just standing there, like there's a light shining behind him,
Then he signs your forehead and pushes you out of the way.
Exactly.
Oh, he's a big dude.
I don't think I've ever like publicly told this story, but I grew up going to Dodger games because we're from LA. Grew up a Dodgers fan, and I only became an Angels fan because when I moved out here and Mike convinced me to play baseball, when we would go to games as a team, it was always Angels games. So that was like, for me, it was just the association of like, oh, I'm with my fucking boys. Like we're going to, watch baseball games and stuff like that. And that was when I became an Angel fan. And then Creative Void, like Jack the CA logo, and I got it tattooed on me. And I was like, I can't turn back now. Like this is it for me. So as hard as it is sometimes.
Yeah.
I was opposite. I was raised a Dodger fan. We were all. I remember. I like memories of like the Dodgers winning the World Series in '88. Like being young, but kind of understanding like my family's excitement. And then, but we lived in Anaheim, and so Angel Stadium was right there. And so,
See, we lived in Eagle Rock. We're like so close.
Yeah, I lived in Montebello, so like I was in between literally like Angel Stadium and Dodger Stadium. It's like either way I go, I'm sitting in traffic for an hour to get to Dodger Stadium, or I'm sitting on the 5, for an hour to get to Angel Stadium. But my grandpa, he had I think he had season tickets for the Angels. He was a baseball fan. He was more of a boxing fan over anything, but he was a baseball fan, and I think they were just cheaper. So he had season tickets for the Angels, and yeah, when my dad started working there, getting all the free swag and stuff, and
Yeah.
I had to be an Angels fan for a little bit. And I remember one time we were at a fair, and it was like guess your speed, like pitching.
Yeah.
I'm like 68, so I threw it and hit 68, and I picked up a Dodger hat. I'm like, this is my team now. My dad's like, a Dodger hat? Like, I work for the Angels. Like, what the heck? So
Sometimes a boy's got to go his own way, Dad.
just walk off into the sunset. Like, you're 12. Where are you going?
It's funny because my dad has been a Braves fan now for forever because we lived in Atlanta, and they just moved back like last year, basically just moved back out here, and I still remember walking into his house, and he's just dodgered out. I'm like, what the fuck happened? He's like, I'm back home. I was like, all right.
He's like, I don't have to pretend anymore.
I was like, that's fair.
Freddie Freeman's here. We're good.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He was like, Freddie Freeman. Like, all right.
This is my last baseball question, but have you ever caught a home run ball, a foul ball, or batting practice ball, or just had a ball thrown to you?
I've had a bunch of balls thrown at... Pause. Wait a minute.
Got him.
Yeah.
Next question.
No, because like the free tickets...
You heard it here first.
Yeah, the free tickets were always behind like the bullpens at Angel Stadium.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, being there a lot, and coaches would just toss baseballs and stuff. So I got a couple of those, and then I got a really nice signed one from Troy Gloss. It's like what year did he win MVP?
2000.
Was it 03?
It was either 03 or 02 when they won. Because what year did Vlad come?
He came the year after.
Okay, so then Troy Glass was MVP either the year before they won the World Series or the year they won the World Series.
Well, basically, it's like Troy Gloss. It's like his signature on the sweet spot. It's like, if it was 02, like 02 MVP. I was like, oh, shit. So, but never caught a home run ball. Never caught a foul ball. if you look up like Puig's first home run, I'm like 2 sections down and 1 over. So like you can see me on TV like throwing my hands up in the air, super close to that one. But yeah, never have I ever.
Michael, you ever gotten?
I got close to like a foul ball, but that's about it. Had my mouth open. I was ready.
I have 2. So one of them not so bad, but the other one still stings me. Angels bullpen, and this was before they made the nice ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like high up and looking down, and so it was I still remember it was Mike Butcher for the Angels, and he just finished like I waited till he was done. I was young, but I knew at least that. As soon as he was done, then I screamed Mike, and he looked up and he threw the ball at me, and he threw it short. And so I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna catch it. My brother, who's like basically like he's a lot bigger and longer than I am, he reached out and he caught it. So he ended up later on giving it to me, but at the moment I was like, fuck.
You're so mad.
Yeah, I was like so excited, but also like really like bummed out because like
I can also see Mario keeping it and just being like,
yeah. No, he eventually gave it to me. And the second one was we were at an Angel game, and my buddy who was with me, my buddy Joe Gill, goes his artist name is Michael. He's actually really good, but he's a huge Dodger fan, hates the Angels, but we're at the game together, and this is when Tony Phillips was on the Angels. Same thing. Wait till like I see their balls coming in. So then I yell Tony, and I yell, and I think I just been so used to saying it that nothing happens. So I go and I sit down. Like I yell, sit down. And then my buddy's like, dude, Mike, he's calling you. So I look up and Tony's like telling me to get up. Throws me the ball. He wasn't known for his arm. Throws me the ball. And the ball, he basically threw it to my buddy. So I'm having to like try to steal it from my friend. And my friend caught it. Oh. And he was just like, yeah, cool. I was like, fuck, that was my ball. He's like, well, he threw it to me. I was like,
I did that to a kid at a Ducks game. I snaked a puck from him, like because at the time I was more of a Kings fan. I still am.
yeah.
But just going to Ducks games, and this kid was calling out all the players, and he threw up a puck, and I'm like, oh, it's coming to me. So I'm like, I'm keeping this shit.
like, yeah.
And I have like thousands at home. Well, not thousands, but a bunch at home. Broken sticks and helmets and skates and stuff, like just people.
So cool.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, I've always, Ducks have always been fine. Everyone always assumes I'm a Ducks fan because I'm an Angel fan, but man, I've been a Kings fan since '93.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was raised a Kings fan. My dad's still a huge Kings fan. I got to work the Stanley Cup.
Oh shit.
Wait for the Ducks or Kings?
For the Ducks in 2007. So we had a stand outside because I would go work for the Ducks in the warehouse, like with my dad. Game days were there until at 9 o'clock in the morning. We're there until like 2 o'clock in the evening. So like, just being there every day, knowing everybody, they like, all right, you're getting your own stand outside. So like during the Stanley Cup, we're basically just sitting outside. Wow. Like it wasn't until like before the game or after, like the rush. Mm-hmm. But I still remember like when they won, I had to be escorted by like 4 like retired sheriffs because I was holding like almost $100,000 in cash.
Holy shit.
Dang.
Like that was insane. So, but I can say like I've been to a World Series, I've been to a Stanley Cup,
which is tight.
Yeah.
So sick. Did you have Mr. Band cars? No. He was the dad of one of my buddies growing up, and he worked for the Ducks as well. I forget what he did, but he got a picture holding the cup on the ice.
Nice.
That's rad.
Yeah, my dad's worked some like crazy jobs. Like now it's like I tell everybody, oh, he used to work for Giant.
Yeah.
Giant would print like all the old bands in the 90s. Like if you had a shirt, it was printed from Giant.
Yeah, that's fucking sick.
So like I see all these people posting like vintage shirts. I'm like, dude, I had like boxes of those, you know. And then
Look at those laying around.
so the company he went to work for that had the contract for the Ducks and the Angels, they also had Super Bowl. So he would fly around to like do Super Bowl, like work the entire week, and he did like motocross. And then when I started working with him, they were doing Golden Boy boxing.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So I was at the first two Canelo Triple G fights.
Fuck.
That's what I met. Like, I didn't meet him, but like he walked like literally like a foot in front of me.
That's meeting him.
LeBron, like I still have a picture
Oh,
of it.
no way.
Usher, like JaVale McGee. Like I just remember like looking up and I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like,
Isn't it insane that he's that tall and he has hops?
yeah, dude, you know, super tall as Usher. Like I always pictured him being super short. Now he's pretty tall. You know, I'm not a short guy either, but like I was like, oh shit, okay. But yeah, I worked the two like Canelo Triple G fights. I worked when he fought what's his face? I don't remember. But yeah, dude, like going to Vegas for a week and a half, 2 weeks, like just working those fights and seeing like I've seen different people, you know, like bootleggers and stuff, like just jacking all their shit because we're trying to make money there.
Oh, like Mike did with his Kobe shirts.
Yeah, I went to the first Staples Center game after Kobe's death.
Oh shit!
And so we're walking to the game, and I just see like scalpers, like merch scalp, all Kobe gear, right? And so like as I'm walking by him, I'm just like, dude, fuck these people, man. They're capitalizing on his death, and I was like, those shirts are probably like $1 to make, and they're gonna sell them for like $40-$50 because they can. I was like hating on it, and then after the game, we leave, and then like walking by the same people, and I'm already judging, and they're like, 2 for $20. I was like, oh shit. Well, yeah, you have a large. I'll take two. I'll take two.
You know, it's just the company was like putting an end to all those scalpers, you know, because they want to get there. So so we ended up with like a pallet full of like scalped shirts and stuff. I came back, I'm giving them to family members and stuff, you know. It's like,
Sick. Dude, you should do a sports podcast, man.
I would love to.
Power take.
I will fucking... yeah, we talked
Do
about it a
it.
little bit.
Do it right here. I don't give a shit.
Do it here. Power take.
No, like just like I said, I'll nerd out on gear, dude. It's like anything sports related. I'm all about it, you know.
Yeah.
And like right now, I'm super excited because my brother started playing high school baseball finally.
Yeah.
Like I've been waiting for this moment for fucking 12 years.
Where's he go to school?
Montebello.
Sick. Okay.
He's a freshman starting catcher, and just fucking cannon for an arm, dude. Like those websites like Max Prep and stuff. They got him throwing in like the mid 80s.
Dude.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Dude, let us know when he has a game. I'll go. Unless it's
Dude,
weird.
fuck yeah. I'll go. No shit. I'll be weird.
yeah, dude. I'm like, I gotta take a day off, you know, to go to his games. His like home opener, like they play in the Almont League, so the home opener was supposed to be Monday, but because of all the rain and stuff, it's getting pushed back. So I gotta figure out when that's going. But yeah, dude, he's a freshman. You got that hair going and stuff, dude. You know, so
Does he wear the old school mask or does he wear the hockey mask?
he wears a hockey mask. He's always wanted the old school mask. It's just like, you know, like little league, it wasn't approved. I don't know about high school and stuff. It all has to be approved. So, and they bought the gear for him. So, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, you know, I'm not the one catching when I coached, but like I hated the hockey mask when they break so easy.
Yeah.
It's like you're meant to throw them. It's like, why are you designing them to break then?
Dude, when
Are they designed to break a certain way?
I mean, I just feel like they always break in the same spot. It's always like the straps the straps in the back.
yeah, when hockey masks first started getting popular, like in the mid '90s, Like, I was a catcher for many years, and my dad bought me one. And at the time, they were like $300-$400. My grandpa was backing up a truck and ran over my bag and shattered the mast. Dude.
Fuck.
It was so
How
sad.
mad was your dad?
I don't know. He was probably pretty pissed off. But
Yeah. All right. Well, I've just a couple questions here, but this is also for you, Michael. You can also answer this. I guess we can all answer this one. So, if you could have anyone come on your podcast, who would it be? Like anyone in the world.
Oh,
And what would be the first, or if you only had one question to ask them, what would it be? So, who would you have, and then what's the one question you would ask them?
oh, that's tough. Anyone in the world, and then
Anyone
you just
in the world. As I'm saying this, I just realized I haven't even thought about this question.
this is it's
So-
well, it's tough because like our focus has mostly been like kind of like punk and hardcore and mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you broaden the fucking topic and just say like anybody on the planet, it's tough. They have to be alive.
Yeah.
dude, there's so many ways you can go with this.
Yeah,
Like, you can go, like, do I want to have somebody on where I can promote my shit?
yeah, yeah.
Or do I want somebody that's going to get, like, a lot of clicks?
I think. I mean, if we're gonna go, if we're gonna go like legend status, I'm gonna go Michael. I'm gonna go Jordan, because if they have to be alive, mostly because I hear he's an asshole. I think it'd be interesting to get him on a podcast.
And if you only had one question, what would you ask him?
Flu game, is it true?
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that pizza was really tampered with? I'd have to ask him something about the sneaker deal. Like, what's the real story behind why you, like the true genuine story why you decided to go with Nike instead of Adidas?
Isn't there a movie coming out about that?
Yeah, but I mean, it's based on
Yeah.
true events. But Ben Affleck, man, he's been waiting to make this movie since '96.
Yeah, dude, it all depends. Like I said, if I'm gonna promote like my podcast, like Share the Backline has one guest on, one question. It's like I'm bringing on Joe Rogan. It's like, hey, can you plug my podcast?
Yeah.
It's like something like that. Or, if I want to like fanboy out or something, like somebody that, like Buddy from Census Valley, like. Or James from Metallica, just have them on and just ask them like, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like I feel that's something I did whenever I would meet somebody like an idol or something. It's like I never eventually I get to that point where I'm fangirling out, but it's like how you doing? Like I'm pretty sure they don't get that a lot, So it's like how are things? Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, things are good, and bye. Clickbait, dude.
I don't know. I feel like mine. I don't know. I feel like either like Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine, but I don't know what I would ask him. Fucking.
I think I would pull Kevin Eastman on, talk Ninja Turtles, and ask about what that process was of selling off Ninja Turtles and then now coming back to like writing the comic books again and doing all that shit.
Saying that, I think I'd want to have Kevin Feige
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
and ask him just, do you really have a plan for all this? Or are we wasting our time? What? Okay.
That'll be a good one. Kevin Feige. It's like, how are you going to destroy DC?
Dude. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting one, not knowing about your therapy side of things. My question was, if you could have any fictional character and act as like a therapist and ask them questions or like want to know their psyche for something, who would it be?
Fictional shit. Hey, you're bringing the heat today, dude.
So I think this one I did have time to think about, so I'll go while you guys think. Mine would be Wolverine, and it'd be
course.
so fun to talk with him because I feel like I could literally talk to him forever because I could ask him about different eras, like, what were, were the 40s really what they say, like, I don't know. I could literally ask him anything, and then I guess he'd be in I don't know where he'd be as far as mentally, as far as like what he remembers. But I'd have so many fun questions for Logan or James, however he wants to be addressed.
Mine would be, contrary to popular belief, it would not be Batman. It would be Dick Grayson.
Ooh.
To find out, one, what's it like to fucking essentially work for Batman. Because you're not really his right-hand man, but you kind of are, but you're kind of a partner, but not really. And see what that whole, like, dynamic is. Put the dynamic in the word dynamic duo. Not Damien? No, fuck Damien. talking about the first Robin himself, man. Nightwing.
Dude, I'm trying to remember his name. I was gonna go superhero too, but I'm like, nah, these guys already did it. The old man from Sandlot.
Oh, the
James
dude
Earl
with the
Jones?
dog.
Yeah, James Earl Jones, Hercules' owner. I forget his name, but I think it'd be pretty cool. Sit down with him, ask questions. Like that's an era of baseball. It's like crazy shit happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People throwing at you because of the color of your skin. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, I do. I've over the years, I've kind of like gone to the fact where I don't even really acknowledge Babe Ruth as being great, just because.
Dude, that era of baseball though was like people were throwing what 60s, 70s back then.
I mean,
like,
but also like he didn't play against any African Americans, any Dominicans. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
Puerto Ricans.
Puerto Ricans, Japanese, Korean players that are all great now. He was teeing off of like farmers and like lawyers.
he was hitting dingers.
Yeah, like I don't know. I when I think of like that area where there was like so much, like I can understand the era where, like before we had like all like the South American countries coming in and then the Asian countries coming in, like but like I don't know, for him I'm just like, dude, you're getting softballed basically, like you're getting BP practice.
Yeah.
Off of these nobodies.
Yeah.
I mean, but you still got to make contact. So that's like that goes
The steroid.
Yeah.
I'm there too, man.
Like Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. Dude, I say this all the time. So you're telling me that his records aren't real? That money you were making off of him, Major League Baseball, that was pretty real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd say if you're not gonna let him back, if you're not gonna let Barry Bonds be in the Hall of Fame, then Major League Baseball needs to give back money in some way. I don't know how that's possible, but it's like that's basically I feel would be fair. Otherwise, put him in.
Yeah.
Do you feel like PEDs really make that much of a difference?
Not for someone who's already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You still have to hit a baseball.
Yeah.
It's still very.
You still have to
difficult.
throw on a line. You still have to hit a baseball. Like yeah.
And if teams really, like you could, don't pitch to him.
Yeah.
Don't pitch to him. If you really felt like he was cheating or you really felt like you couldn't, it was that much of an advantage, don't pitch to him. And Barry Bonds faced pitchers that were on PEDs.
Mm-hmm. I feel like baseball is one of those sports where I don't think it matters, if I'm being completely honest. Something like boxing or something like,
Because like physical harm
yeah,
to your...
that's.
Yeah. Still got to make contact.
Yeah.
That's probably the hardest thing to do in sports. Is make contact with the baseball.
Contact and timing.
Especially coming at you like 99 miles an hour,
It's fucking insane. It's terrifying.
James Earl Jones was Mr. Myrtle.
Mr.
Myrtle.
Myrtle.
Yes, dude.
Fuck, I don't think I would have remembered that.
I wouldn't have remembered that either.
All right. What piece of advice, or what's the best advice that you would give to yourself about mental health or your mental health well-being that you would give yourself if you were like 15?
gonna be okay. Just let it go. Like, you don't have to bottle every emotion. Like I think that's like one trait that I carried, from like those high school years is just holding on to things, and like my wife tells me all the time, it's like, just let it go, like I never really learned how to do that. And, coming from somebody like, older, it's like to hear that and not like a professional, like just somebody like, it's cool, dude, just let it go. Tomorrow's a new day, I think that's probably what I would tell myself.
For me, I think it would be to be more present and don't disassociate. Because I would just find myself in situations where I was like stressed out, and I'm just like, don't want to deal with this, don't want to deal with the emotion, and essentially just check out. I think that's one of my even still to this day, one of my biggest problems is I can very easily just turn shit off.
Yeah.
And then when I turn it off, it's like, it sucks for the people around me because I'm just not there anymore, So, yeah, I think learning that I can do that and understanding it and not giving into it as much when I was younger would have been very beneficial to me and like my relationships and my, everything essentially.
I think I would have told myself, because I had guitar like when I was in high school, which is very helpful for me as far as having an outlet, but just seeing as an adult, especially what singing does for me, I would tell myself to like, I know it's awkward and you hate doing this, but like find ways to sing, which sounds crazy because I've been in a band since forever, but I never sing like by myself. I never practiced. Like only time I sang was at band practice. But I think for myself, if I could just find, because I enjoy singing, and it's not just like my punk rock. There's a bunch of stuff I like singing. I'd probably tell myself like, dude, you like other shit. Pete, it's okay to sing that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're
dude,
not that
it's
punk.
okay.
Yeah, you're
it's
not
okay.
You're not that punk, dude.
I will say that I can honestly vouch for the fact that ever since you've been like, we started the vocal lessons and things like that, your singing has gotten stronger. And by that I mean like when you randomly recorded some shit in my kitchen the other day, or like a week or two ago, like you're not struggling to hit notes, right? Like you know where you want to go and you're hitting it, so that helps.
Yeah, it is a very helpful thing I've learned from like placement for stuff and setting up before you get to the note. We miss you, Michael, at vocal lessons.
Hey man, I think my Wednesdays have started to free up.
Oh,
So
well, every Wednesday 6:30.
Being a mental health podcast, and like when you guys write, like, do you guys check into that often, or like only? I'm asking because I started writing like lyrics. I'd never, since I've been playing, have started writing lyrics. Or written lyrics, but now I started, because O'Brien, we want to like start. I want to do the Beatles thing where just record music, put it out, and like not have to play shows, and kind of keep it anonymous. Well, not anymore, but like just put it out, like write good shit, but like I feel like when I'm sitting down and just like digging into like that one little piece back here, like do you guys do that often or it's just like,
so for me, it's a yes and no type thing. Like with the Torture Culture record that we put out, it was literally from a place of, hey, I want to write something that's just pissed.
Yeah.
Right. And that was really the idea was just, let's get angry and do something like pissed off, heavy ass hardcore stuff. But with the Creative Void records, I would it was a lot more personal. A lot of it was positive because I was just trying to put myself in that mindset of like, no matter what was happening, find the positive in it. Right. But there's tons of like, even like the corny rap stuff where like I dug deep and like, you can tell, in some of those songs, even like recording it and like vocalizing it, like, oh, saying this shit out loud sucks.
Yeah.
You know, like it's one thing to write on a piece of paper, it's another to actually like, you know, project it. So like, and then it puts you in that scenario where you're like, do I want to be vulnerable with these people? Right? Do I want to be like with people I don't even fucking know? Right?
Yeah, because you're letting people in.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's like terrifying. It's so scary, but sometimes I feel like you have to go there to get the most genuine thing. Like as much as I joke about like the Mikey Diamond stuff and the rap stuff, like it was fun. The reason I stopped is it stopped feeling real because I stopped going to those places. I stopped going to like shit that would hit me emotionally, right? And then I had a conversation with my brother. So my brother and I, like my biological brother, same mom, different dads. He's he's always rapped and done stuff like that, but now he's getting like really back into it. And we had sent a song back and forth, and it was like this song about our experience with our biological mom. He never knew her. I knew her for a few years, like until I was 5, and then she was gone. Whole deal. Went to prison, was gone for forever, all this shit. So he wrote his verse, and his verse was like, as it would be, like angry, right? Like he's mad that she was never around, things like that. And then mine was more like, I'm already pretty laid back in general, but mine was just very like, hey, listen, like I remember all this shit. I remember all these things happening, and there's still a little bit of spite in there because it's like, oh, you know, like, hey, I hope you're doing good because I'm doing just fine without you, right? And my brother kind of messaged me back, and he's like, I didn't realize your experience was like that. And we got to talking about it. He's like, yeah, I think I'm going to change my verse because I just sound like the angry kid. And I was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
I was like, don't fucking change it. I was like, because the second you change it, you're just trying to make something that you think people would want to hear. And you're not like fully giving what you feel. Like this is how you felt when you recorded this. Like you shouldn't change it because you heard my verse and it was a different experience. Like the whole point of this is both of us experience something completely different with the same person.
It's cool.
And don't fucking change it. He's like, I don't know, man. I said I'm pissed. I'm like, don't fucking change it. I don't give a shit. Don't fucking change it. So, yeah, sometimes it's like digging deep is like, it sucks to do it and it's rough, but it's also therapeutic in a way because you vocalize shit that you've had in your head for what, like 30 years, 20 years, whatever it is. And you're like, oh, fuck. I got that out. What else can I get out?
Yeah.
That deal.
Yeah, for me, I have a ton of different topics that are constantly that I would like to speak about, shine a light on, try to get a better understanding of or grasp of. So I have all these different topics, and like for me, like I've had people ask me like, are you getting to the point where you're going to run out of like mental health things to talk about because you've already talked about suicide, you talked about this and that, and I'm like, dude, I could write an entire album just on suicide.
Yeah.
I can write an entire album just on anxiety. I can write an entire album on whatever I want. What makes, there's still love songs being written today. And like, for the most part, a lot of them are pretty similar, but they're all their own experiences. And a lot of them have different types of how they get to the same destination. So if I were to pick like a topic that we've discussed for no bragging, I'll use that as an example. So like we have a song about losing someone to suicide, and on the most recent album, the perspective was having a conversation with my friend's daughter. That's what the song is. So I've done that. If I wanted to still talk about suicide again, then I can talk about it from the perspective of losing a son, losing a wife, losing, I can do that. Or I can talk about, what the process of like seeing someone get to that point. I can talk, my point is I have my topic. You can hit it from so many perspectives. You can do it from a personal view, moments before, after, whatever it is, and if you want to talk about, same thing with like, if you want to have a song about love, then same thing. You can write about how it's making you feel or how you want the other person to feel or how you're hoping they feel. There's so many, that's what I love like music and writing is I like to take something that's like been done before. Like we don't reinvent the wheel. Like when we write like for no bragging rights, like people have talked about like intimate partner violence, like that's not new, and so the perspective I did was the one I wrote on, like, so I like to have, like, I don't ever want to be like, I don't want to touch that topic because it's been overdone, because I feel like you can find a new perspective, that's what makes it fun. Find something new to write on, or just write when in doubt, like what's personal for you. What do you, when you hear the music and you have this topic in your head, what is your initial like what's your gut telling you, or what's your feeling towards that, and then just go with it, like write. The beauty of writing is you can always erase it, or you don't have to show, if it's something you don't want to share, you don't have to show anyone.
Dude, one thing that's wild that like, it sounds so dumb, right? But I wrote like one song, didn't get released, but it was all from my perspective, right? And I was like, this is too much. Like, I don't feel comfortable putting this out. And I just literally changed everything to third person. Yeah. I to he, right? And then changed the point of view of it, and it's still the same story, but it felt less, like I felt way less vulnerable about the song when I did it that way. And I was like, oh, okay, so you're just literally telling the same story, but from a different perspective, and it shifts it in some weird way. Like, that's still my story, that's still what happened to me, but at the same time, like, oh, but it doesn't feel as gut wrenching when I'm not saying I. Yeah. Yeah,
that's a very good tactic. That's a good way to write too, for just like people who want to just write out, like when they say journaling and stuff. Like, I've had people that are just scared to be like, this is how I feel, and to write that. A good strategy for making it less vulnerable is write in third person, or like write it from perspective of someone else, almost like you're telling a story.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of dumb, so like I can't spell. So that's not a no. Just
type it, dude. Spell check.
Yeah.
Type it, or freaking talk into your phone, or that way, and then have it, dictate later.
You had said something, like I had just like when I started this podcast, like that's when I finally realized. You had said like something along the lines of like writing something that somebody wants to hear, versus writing something like I want to put out.
Yeah.
And like me and O'Brien had that long discussion, like, what are we going to talk about? It's like, dude, well, we could talk about whatever.
Yeah.
We'll have a structure. Like, yeah, like we both came to the conclusion, like we want to put focus on those local band heroes, because, you can look up to, like I said, Census Fail or Metallica, like you can look up to those guys, but they're on a whole nother level. Like, they're unreachable. I remember like the beginning of Instagram, beginning of Twitter, like sending a band a message, be like, hey, what's up, dudes? I enjoy, and then responding is like, like that made me look up to people.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck, these guys are cool, It's like,
yeah.
So like when we got that done, I'm like, dude, we're not gonna do anything for views. I'm not gonna, sit here and do the 1 hour podcast. Like there's some stuff where we do where it's by the book, only because like we want to make it too.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna sit there and talk about like trending topics, like shit I don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
And like I wish I would have realized that when I was writing music.
Yeah.
It's like do stuff I want to do, and not trying to make it. Like that's why. Like I always ask him every time, I'm like, would you listen to this episode? He's like, yeah. I'm like, so yeah, so same. So when I devote an hour to this and check it out. So
yeah, I think that's it's tough when you're like in a very niche position, right? Like you're like, even with us, like, yeah, we talk about punk rock stuff. Yeah, we talk about sometimes current events. Sometimes we do questions, but the overall aspect is mental health. And while it's more widely talked about, it's still not as like, it's not as broad as like a fucking comedy podcast might be, right? Like, and the whole approach was like, well, we still want to be ourselves. We don't want to be clinical about anything because we don't want to, I'm not the the mental health guy, other than just I talk to people. This guy's got the degree, but at the same time, like this was our just like coffee shop therapy sessions that we're like, all right, cool, like let's fucking just record it. But I think like a big thing that I like that you guys are doing is like, fuck it, like we want to talk about this, we're going to talk about this, right? Like there's no like, well, maybe we shouldn't say this, or maybe we shouldn't do this, or it's like, okay, this is us, this is our show. You can listen or you don't want to listen. It is what it is. And like I think that like when you talk about like people being like unattainable, right? In the beginning, it really feels like that. Like especially like even now, we're a year and some change in, and it still feels like, fuck, we haven't even gone through our fucking like contact list to go, hey, could you think you could jump on our like, and there's still a part of me that's like scared to do that because I'm like, what if they say no?
Yeah.
What if they say yes?
Yeah, but then like, what if they say yes? Like, and just through like we've sat down and talked about it off camera, and like the amount of weird connections that we have to people that we'd like to have on the show are like, weird. We could probably make that happen. But it's also like still the concern of like, oh, well, fuck, like, are we ready to do that? Are we ready to make this move?
Yeah. O'Brien, like, he has a lot of like those weird connections, we had Gil from Light the Sky, who they were at the time were really big in like the San Gabriel Valley and everything. Like it's like, all right, cool. And then he was talking about somebody else. Like I'll tell you guys after, but it's like, cause this guy I'll tell you guys after, but like, it's there's a chance we can get him on, and like it involves like my world and, like coming from streaming to, the things O'Brien did with him in the past, recording shows and stuff. And I think it's more of like, what if they say yes? Like, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think also too, once you do it enough, you kind of get a rhythm and like what your voice is and stuff. Like being just completely honest, like I think for myself, I'm just now, like in the last week or two, even getting to the point where I would feel comfortable if we got one of these names to come in, that I'd feel comfortable enough to ask them the questions I want to ask them, as opposed to just being like, I don't know.
Like you don't want to piss anybody off. You don't want to make them mad at you. You don't want to.
that cookie cutter interview type thing, like, all right, did an hour. Cool. Thank you for stopping by,
And I think another thing too is that like, we genuinely like hang out with our friends. It's like, like we didn't know each other before we fucking started like talking shit to each other on the internet. And then we find these connections, but like just the community that comes with it. It's kind of like rad, like we could just be like, oh, cool. Let's fucking talk to people about this shit.
Yeah. I started listening to you guys. Like I said, I told Mike this. I'm like, I cannot do your podcast because I'm just going to fangirl out because I've been a fan of MBR for, I don't know how long. I told my buddy, like, dude, like, I'm going to be doing this podcast. He's like, I hate you, But, like I started listening to you guys because of Raw. And, when you guys had Raw on, I'm like, oh, shit. And, like, mental health was always a big thing for me in the streaming side, too. Like, I was a Twitch streamer for a couple of years. Like after I found out, I was diagnosed with depression. Like I was a stay-at-home dad at the time, because my father-in-law, who was going to be a babysitter, had to have back surgery, and I had just finished school. I went to UTI for collision repair, so I was going to be like an estimator, or that was the end goal. And they asked me. We had just moved out here to the IE. And they're like, can you just give it like a year or two? And it's like, all right, yeah, whatever. So I was watching my daughter full time. My wife went back to work. And like, I need to do something, and that's when like things started really getting bad. And I found like that outlet, like watching Twitch streamers. I'm like, dude, like this is fun, I can escape for like an hour or two, while my daughter's napping. And I'm like, why can't I do that? So I started streaming. Took one of those boxing checks, because they would just 1099 me, like it's a couple $1,000, and bought a computer, bought all this this gear and stuff. And then I was fortunate enough to get on a YouTube video. This guy, his name's Bitwit on YouTube. Check him out. Like, really cool guy. He pit my rig, basically. So he took my computer
Oh, sick. Okay.
and like pit my rig, and basically just gave me all brand new parts.
Fuck.
Cool.
But you know, he had mentioned like the depression and stuff, and I meant to bring you the book. Like, he had a buddy who he went to high school with, who's a doctor now. Like, wrote a book. It's like what is it, like Fuck My Depression or something, or like Fuck My Anxiety. Like, really good books. Who sent me the books? But I'm like, all right, I got this platform now. I'm on this video that has like 2 million views. My Twitch channel's like up to 14,000 followers now. You know, it's like,
That's sick.
so, but it was all focused on like mental health, you know, because people would come in and be like, oh, you know, just work out, you'll be fine. It's like, no, it's not that simple.
Yeah.
man.
That's
I-
that's definitely part of it, but it's
Yeah.
not the whole thing.
I was like, I was skinny once, and you know, still just as sad.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then just dealing with like the internet trolls and stuff too is like that's why, like, when I first started listening to this, I'm like, yeah, this is, I could get behind normalizing checking in on the homies, you know.
Hell yeah. That's sick, man.
So
Mike got his first troll. I don't know if you saw that, Mike.
Did I?
Yeah.
What happened?
It said it said Air Max are overrated.
Oh, fucking dare you. Got some Air Maxes right here.
Well, dude, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Sorry.
a
my wife's texting me pictures of the boys, so
Dude, take those, man. Gladly take those. Yeah, man, this was sick, dude. I'm you know, as much as we want to just shit on each other for our Taco Bell Del Taco war, like I'm stoked we got to have like some real conversations on here. And you live so close, dude. We gotta fucking
yeah, we'll
hang out, man.
dude. I got.
power take.
Well, we're definitely watch out for that new podcast, dude.
Dude.
Baseball season starting, dude. Dodgers baseball.
Dude, Angel and Dodger perspectives
Yeah,
under one roof.
dude, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good year for everybody. But
Hey-
yeah, Del Taco's still better than Taco Bell. I meant to bring him in, dude.
Before before we end, and you know what? Since you're the guest, I'll let you write out on something like that. So we have a question from our buddy Chris. He just asked. He asked, In-N-Out or Baker's Burger?
In-N-Out.
Oh. Yeah, in and out. All the way.
Yeah,
I like Baker's. Baker's is good. It's a little bit more expensive.
Baker's is white Del Taco.
It's literally it's the America's first twin kitchen. Was it though?
I feel like there has to be some ties. I feel like they have to be owned by the same.
They're not.
I don't think Baker's is owned by Jack in the Box, but you know.
And then the last question, this is from our boy Ty, and Ty from Burner State. Grass for Hope. He says, "What is your favorite Del Taco item?"
Ooh,
Oh, so this is putting you on the hot seat right now. So if you say something like the double Del or whatever,
the Del beef burrito, like that's a go-to. It used to be like the number 9, where they give you a taco with it, but now they don't give you a taco. You know, inflation and stuff. So it's pretty much like, I don't think I've ever had the burger from Del Taco.
really,
Yeah,
The Del Burger,
I've never had the Del burger.
dude. It's
I've heard amazing things,
pretty good.
it's a solid item. I'll say that.
but you know, like, I'll go to Del Taco. Depends on my mood. You know, I went there Thursday because, you know, you can go to Del Taco, get 3 chicken tacos for $2. You know, like, I don't know anywhere else you can do that.
Can I ask you a question? Can I like genuine, honest question?
Yeah.
Since we've started this whole beef battle, do you feel weird going to Taco Bell, or have you been since we started? Because I have not been to Del Taco since we started this.
I avoid
been
Taco
once.
Bell like the plague. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, I can't be seen. All right, so like this beef, you know, like when it first started, we were gonna go a lot deeper.
Yeah.
Like I was even gonna film a sketch where it's like TMZ almost, and I was gonna Photoshop like your guys' face on celebrity bodies walking out of Taco Bell and stuff. I'm like,
I wish you had done that.
Dude, I'm gonna say now, if I knew how to do that, I would have done it.
like I was just gonna like destroy you guys. You know, like nah. Like yeah, I can't go to Taco. I went to Taco Bell not too long ago, and I meant to bring them in. I forgot them in my truck. It was so bad. Taco Bell sent me 3 vouchers for a free item.
Really?
Well, we don't live far.
They're in my truck, so I'll grab them. So you guys can have them. But given like where I live, there's a Taco Bell to the left and Del Taco to the right. I live right off the 210, so
Nice.
so you know which Del Taco I'm talking about. And yeah, dude. But to answer your question, it's probably like a Del beef burrito or some chili cheese fries, like deluxe chili cheddar fries, I should say. Mm-hmm. That fresh cheddar that's cut daily.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. The superior cheese.
It's like Taco Bell cheese is so waxy. And like, have you ever dropped a piece of cheese in your like Taco Bell cheese in your car, and then like 3 months later, it's like you probably
Still good to go.
It's so good.
I don't see the. I'm trying to find something wrong in that.
Yeah, but
There's definitely like this like I've driven by Dell a couple times where I'm just like, I'm so hungry and I need to get something, but then like because we're on this hill that we have to die on, I'm like, nah, I can't do it.
So mine, I didn't have a choice. I was taking my brother and his family to the airport. They were flying out to Kentucky, but there's a lot of craziness that happened. Their flight got delayed, so because it got delayed, they're gonna miss the next flight. So they had to find a different airport to go through. And in the meantime, we were like, well, the girls need to eat, and the closest thing.
The girls need to eat. You don't need to eat.
But I needed to eat too. And so they're like, well, let's just talk. There's a Del Taco right after freeway, right in Corona. So we go, and I did think about like holding off, but at the same time, I was like, if they find a flight, then that means I'm gonna have to be driving them to either LA or Anaheim, and then I'm gonna be stuck there by the time I turn. Anyway, so I went with what I always get, which is the Del Burger.
I gotta try it.
Fair.
I gotta try it.
Fair.
Dude, and you know, both of you guys being Angel fans, what's right across the street from Angel Stadium?
Hooters.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. No, that's across the freeway. I'm talking
50
like
wings, man.
Yeah.
like right where the entrance is. It's facing the entrance. It's like it's meant to be. There's a Del Taco right there on that corner.
Yeah.
What's that brewery?
Golden Road.
Golden Road.
Yeah.
It's right next to that.
Yeah.
That's what I always see. Golden Road, nothing.
And it's $5 parking, I think, or $10 parking maybe in Golden Road.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about some ideas for the pods and sketches and stuff. Like so we're gonna go to an Angel game, take a Dodger fan to an Angel game.
Yeah. Take an Angel fan to Dodger game.
I still think we should go to Meat La Cafe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, I looked that up. I'm 100% down.
Yeah, I just haven't gone, but I watched that Netflix episode on them. And then they talked about like the inspiration behind Taco Bell and all this, and I was like,
when he said that, it confused me because I was thinking of something. There's a place in I want to say Fountain Valley or something. Mm-hmm. It's out there in Orange County somewhere, but they got sued by Taco Bell because they said they had the original recipe for everything Taco Bell sells.
interesting.
I gotta look that up. But yeah, like their logo was almost the same, and now it's in like some industrial park. Mm-hmm. But like yeah, they were gonna get sued by Taco Bell. Some guy I used to work with told me the story for it.
Wild claim.
Down check that out too.
Hey, we can do food adventures, man.
Oh,
Share the blind.
It was just O'Brien doesn't eat meat, so they'll have to get something else. But
Walking backline.
Walking backline.
Wait, Brian doesn't eat meat?
no, he's a vegetarian.
Vegan or vegetarian?
Vegetarian.
Correct.
Okay.
He'll eat cheese. He's
Eggs?
he'll eat eggs. Like I always say, like the wildest stories. Like we'll stop to get breakfast burritos. And he's like, I'll have an egg breakfast burrito. I'm like, so just eggs and tortilla? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, no, they'll put hash browns in it. He's like, can you put ketchup inside of it? I'm like, what? This is wild, dude. Who are you?
So my girlfriend is vegetarian basically. She likes to say plant based, but she's vegetarian. And I showed her this video. Mind you, she's been sick. She was like, "You're stupid. Leave me alone." But it was like this. It was a dude that was on Rogan, and he was like, "You want to talk about like, killing animals and being a murderer? Talk to vegetarians, man." He's like, "Cause you want tofu? Those soybeans I grow, I'm killing every bird, every squirrel, every snake, every animal that might get in there. And if I miss them, when I go through and I plow, I take out all those animals. That's why you see the crows and the birds coming down." And he's like, and then that doesn't take them out. Monsanto, I'm killing everything in there. He's like, so you want to talk about murderers? Vegetarians. And I was like, damn. And I showed her this video. She's like, "You're stupid." She just rolled over.
But I'm right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he said it's been like 20 years, I think. So
20 years and it hasn't broken
No,
veg once.
no. He said it's more of a like an animal thing than.
That's fair. I get it.
I mean, I love that dude. He's 10 years sober too.
Really?
So yeah, he just got his 10-year token, which was wild to see. Like actually holding it.
Yeah.
Seen that. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, he's a really good dude. Glad I started a podcast with him. So
That's sick. I'm glad you guys were able to get that off the ground too. Like all the pieces just kind of all fell into place for you.
man, I'm telling you, like the minute he said yes, I'm ordering everything.
That was Mike.
And then, I'm like, cause he didn't want to do it at all either. He's like, nah, like I hate the sound of my own voice. I'm like, yeah, me too.
Yeah. Everybody does.
He's like, I don't know if you noticed, but like my Instagram, all my videos don't have me speaking. I'm like, we're gonna change that.
Guess what, dude?
Oh, by the way, it's a video podcast too. So it's like, damn it. But yeah, no, dude, it's been working out. It's been fun. Getting to know you guys too, like the messages and stuff, and just, we grow, everybody grows type of thing.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm all about. It's like just
Raising tide raises all ships.
Yep.
Or what? Yeah.
Something not good with quotes. So
Well, let's get some Taco Bell.
Get some Taco Bell and call it a night.
No, but thank you guys for checking in on us, tuning in to us. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm cold. I'm the only one here not wearing long sleeves. That's why I've been like this the whole time.
dude, I'm only wearing a windbreaker because of Mike right here.
Dude, you guys doing a sports show with just like black windbreakers and different color hats, like.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'll rock my angel hat.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for checking in. We love you guys. At walkingblindpod at gmail.com if you have questions or you want to talk about the show. At walkingblindpod, pretty much everywhere, even on TikTok. Check out the shorts. Check out the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys check out Share the Backline. And it's just at Share the Backline.
I share the backline.
Share the Black Line.
Both of us will
You can
respond to anything. So
Yeah.
Yeah, except for Twitter. It's
Oh, yeah, we don't do Twitter.
it's
Yeah.
We have one, but
it at share the backline without the E cut from the team. So yeah, I guess share the backline is like one character too long, so it's like share the backline.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. You want to plug your personals?
Yeah, Beardly Andrew, but really it's like I'm always on the share the backline.
It's all consuming, dude.
Yeah.
It just takes over. I try and stay away. Mostly it's him.
We just got a MySpace. I wish.
Are we going to be in your top 8?
We just got a website that I'm working on too. It's like, so I got like Andrew at sharethebackline.com and
Ooh, you paid for the extra email upgrade.
yeah, man. Unfortunately. So,
That's always a hard one for me. I'm like, oh, it's such a cool email to have, but it's also this much a year.
$7 more.
we just paid for a PO box.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good thing. It's like, since he lives up in the mountains, he has to have a PO box because they won't deliver mail to him.
Oh,
So
yeah. Sick.
that was already taken care of. So, but yeah, I'm always on Instagram, he does all the driving. I just usually sleep in the truck.
Nice.
So, yeah, man.
Well,
Thanks for having me, guys.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you
on.
for being here. We love you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Knowing I handle my aggression.